What's up, my beautiful babies, aka my boss babies? I'm going to be playing in this gorgeous lace wig. This one comes from Dolago.com. They sent over a 250% density lace wig. The texture is deep curly, 22 inches. I am growing like a baby. I just watched Tiffany from Daily Davidson's birth video. I was growing like a baby. Congrats to her on her beautiful girl Nova. So this is the wig here. It is a gorgeous 6-inch parting 22-inch wig. Of course, it's natural color. Can you catch that wave pattern? It is so gorgeous, so much bouncing body, so much luster. I mean, how could you not see it? They sent me a coupon code for Ashley10 for money off at checkout, so make sure you check that out. You can see here clearly we have 6 inches of parting space. Very nice. 3 combs in the front, 1 in the back, adjustable straps. They have your baby hair already ready to go. There's nothing bad I can say about this wig. Today, y'all, I was going through the motions. I decided I wanted to do a crimped style on this wig, and all of a sudden when I started to film, I just went left. So I'm going to start off by installing the wig. So I know a lot of you guys love when I install my wigs. I feel like a lot of times I do the same thing, but sometimes I do something a little bit different. For starters, I'm going to go ahead and cut out the comb in the center. If I want a center part, this comb falls right where I want to part. I feel like I have a ton of times had this type of wig construction, and I've left the comb in and it's just fine, but it's just, you know, an extra way to slay. Like if you just want your wig slayed flat perfect, go ahead and take that comb out. If you are unsure and you don't want to, you know, cut a hole in your lace, then just leave it there. It's not necessary, but you know, it's an extra step. So here I am adding powder to the parting. I of course tried different powder, and as you guys can see, it's not vibrant, so it kind of was a waste of time. I started out with my contour powder. My contour powder does not have a lot of kickback. It doesn't move a lot. You know, contour powder is not as dusty or powdery as like a foundation, so that was a no. And then I used my mineralized skin finish, but I'm almost out, so I basically hit pan and it was not happening. So I kept it pushing and I started to do my elastic band. I have a dedicated video on the elastic band method if you want me to explain in detail what I am doing. But as you guys can see, I always line up the elastic with those combs, and you can see a full demonstration in the video I'll have linked down below. Next, we're going to go ahead and put that wig on. Now we have a glueless application. That elastic band made this wig into a glueless lace wig. So here I am cutting off excess lace. If you guys did not notice, the lace went beyond my eyes. So in the process of trying to pluck out the hairline, I pretty much was not able to see. So I just cut off a little bit, but I kind of kept some because whenever I am plucking my hairline, I like to kind of hold on to the lace as a guide or a grip while I am pulling, so that the lace is not, you know, moving and sliding everywhere. And I'm just gonna go ham. You know, I like to go ham. I like different techniques. Here I feel like this is not a great technique as far as just going against the actual hairline. If you are a newbie, I would part out what I would consider to be my baby hair, and I would thin it out with the baby hair going in the opposite direction, basically in the way I would want to swoop it, and then I would thin out hair behind that baby hair, if that makes any sense. I'll do a video on that this week if you guys want to see an actual detailed video on how to tweeze your hairlines for beginners. But basically, I kind of want the hairline to just be thinner. I like it when the hairline almost looks a little bit nappy, if that makes any sense. I don't even know if I'm making any sense, but I like it when it just looks thinner and it kind of looks sporadic and not too uniform. To me, that has the best look, in my opinion. Now the hairline was slightly pre-plucked. It wasn't too full or dense in the front to begin with, but again, if you want the hairline to be flawless, you definitely will have to thin it out a little bit more. Here is a first glimpse at the texture. This is actually my first time combing it out. There was no crazy excess shedding. I did tweeze out the hairline, as you guys seen, so you have to kind of pull or comb out the hairline in order to get all of that hair that you plucked out. And this is where we are, and I think this looks really good. To each his own. If this is too much for you, then, you know, you just do less with your stuff. If it's, you know, not enough, you do more with your stuff. But this is how I do it. And then when people tell me like this is not too much or it's not enough or whatever the case may be, it does not ever change the way I do things. Just an FYI. So at this point, you can go ahead and cut off the excess lace. I'm going to go ahead and separate my baby hair as of right now and go ahead and cut it into a great size. So I think about 1/2 inch is a great length, maybe a 1/4 inch of, in length for baby hair. And of course, I like to just train it to go in the opposite direction. Normally a foam lotion is a great way to train the hair to go that way without it like flying back. But in this case, the hair kind of just laid naturally because if you guys didn't notice in the very beginning, the wig already came with the baby hair, so the hair is almost like it's put into the lace and meant to go in that direction, if that makes any sense. So I just sprayed a little bit of water. Water helps to move the hair and hold the hair in places temporarily. And in this case, I really wanted to cut off the rest of the lace before I styled the baby hair. I know a lot of people will style their baby hair, especially on the mannequin head, with the lace on, and then they'll cut around the lace, like around the baby hair, to cut off the excess lace. I personally don't like that. I'm not going to say I don't like it at all and I never would do it again. I just find in my experience when I swoop baby hair and then I cut the lace around the swoops, like the next day I always like redo my baby hair and it just doesn't make sense. Like, you know, I have to perfectly swoop it around that or recut more lace eventually. So this is just how I like to do it for now. I'm pretty sure in a week or two or a month or two I'm gonna be telling you like a whole new different thing, and that's just, you know, how it goes. We like what we like while we like it, and when we don't like it no more, that's it. So basically you can rewind and watch that over, but basically I just cut off half the lace. I'm going to do the other half on off camera, but you guys can see it came out great. I don't like to leave excess lace. I just find that it just makes it easier for people to find the lace personally. I like to cut it as close to the hairline as possible and then do swoops and baby hairs and as much as I can to, you know, camouflage it, so to speak. So now we're going to actually do the install, and I'm just using my Got2b Glued Freeze Spray to go ahead and lay a light coat. Now I am fast forwarding. I applied the spray and then I let it sit for about 15 seconds before bonding the wig down. This is a great texture shot of the hair. This is absolutely gorgeous hair. I'm so mad at myself, you guys. I should have wet it and showed you guys how to do a great natural style utilizing the texture that the hair came in, but in my mind I wanted to do crimps and then I wanted to do curls. So we're going to go with some big flirty curls, but first you're going to see how I braided and do it half up, half down. So you see I already tweezed the hairline, but as I'm swooping the baby hair, if I find different areas where a little bit more hair needs to be cut or trimmed or tweezed out, I always am customizing my hairline. Like, you know, it doesn't, because you customized it in the beginning doesn't mean you can't, you know, do more later. So never feel like you have to customize it 100% the very first time you try. You know, if you're unsure if you did too much or enough, just go ahead and finish your install and come back to it when it's time to do baby hair, and you'll be able to have a better visual of if you've done enough. And you guys see, I did not bleach the knots, and I think this looks pretty natural. Now in the very center, I didn't really want to swoop it. I just kind of wanted to, you know, use my fingers to kind of ruffle up like a little bit of natural baby hair or a natural flow of the baby hair and kind of trim it out so it just sits there ununiform, and I think that looks most natural. And I did use the foam lotion to create the baby hair. I did not use any edge control. That's pretty much been my favorite. Now, as I mentioned before, this wig does have 6-inch deep parting. I kind of feel like this is more than 6 inches, which is always a bonus, but I'm pretty sure it's 6 if they say it's 6. And all I'm doing here is showing you how it looks parted down the center. I was in shambles. I really wanted to do a center like braid, but I have nails in, and y'all, for the life of me, I cannot do French braids when I have nails, especially when they're kind of long, and mine are getting medium. So I'm gonna try the braid, and you're gonna see it's gonna be a fail. It's gonna be a dub. So that kind of killed the whole vibe of the look I was going for. I was gonna do the center braid, and then I was gonna do crimps all around. I thought that was just gonna be a cute little different style, something I've never I've done crimps and I've done the center braid, but just a combo I haven't done before. And if you like are glimpsing kind of like ever so slightly, that hairline looks so good, especially because the knots are not bleached. And I just have a little Got2b glue spray there. I didn't bond it or melt it down too much. I didn't do stocking cap method. This is just literally my quick and easy go-to install, and it still looks flawless. Now you can see that braid is not a good braid. Like, that's a braid that's cool for me, but I'm trying to do a tutorial here, man. This ain't hitting. This is not hitting. I still tried to go for it and keep it, and I wanted to show you guys what it would look like in half up, half down. As I mentioned, this wig is 250% density, so this is the perfect wig. 250% density and it's deep parting. This is the perfect wig and the perfect install for a half up, half down, because you'll be able to, you know, make your ponytail up top and still have, you know, hair out in the back to cover, and your ponytail is going to be super full. There I was showing you my flat iron. I was going to do curls, and I used the XL barrel, and I was just kind of showing you the XL barrel is longer than a normal barrel. So I went ahead and switched that braid to a twisty because the braid was just looking real silly. My top ponytail was looking real silly, so I did a braid, turned it into a bun. Now I'm doing my foam lotion, and the foam lotion pretty much is going to flatten out the top so that it doesn't look messy. And as you guys can see, even though my twist isn't super neat, it still looks a little bit more neat and uniform, you know what I mean? I added a little bit of serum to the hair just because I wanted to see what would happen if the texture would pop, and from there I decided to just go ahead and add curls. Again, I was gonna do 30 other styles, and I ended up going with the curls, which came out amazing. If you want a pin curl, just hold that curl there, kind of fix that up real quick, add a pin right there and let that set. That's going to be your best option to get the best curls. And then I got indecisive again, y'all. I took that little twist out and I just flipped it to one side, so it's kind of like an off-centered side part. It's a little bit weird, but it works for me. Okay, so forgive my wet spot on my shirt. It should be dry in just a moment, but I am officially done. I decided to just go ahead and wear it down with the curls. Now, after I started curling it, I just decided I should have just left the natural texture. The natural texture was so pretty, and I hate when I mess up the natural texture without actually using it. So we'll see. It looks absolutely beautiful. I don't know if you guys can see, but I put some bobby pins in just for a little bit of a detail to show off the hairline. I was gonna include this wig in my wig sale, which wig sale announcement is coming after this video, but I'm not. I'm keeping this one for myself. So hope you guys enjoyed this quick one. Don't forget to check out Dolago.com. All of the information on this hair is listed in the description box. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.